So, where you from?
Who cares? I can't go back.
The Circle of Life, a song and carefully guarded secret, goes back further than anyone imagined. Ancient cave paintings reveal lion royalty stretching back hundreds of generations before Mufasa. These forgotten rulers shaped the Pride Lands, their influence still echoing through the savannah today. But here's where it gets interesting. These paintings also reveal a shocking truth about Simba's family tree. A missing branch, a lost royal, could rewrite everything we know about the Lion King story. Who were they? What happened? Why were they erased from history? Get ready for a mind-blowing mystery that's been hiding in plain sight all along. Okay, so we're going deeper into the Lion King mystery, and we found something incredible in those caves under Pride Rock. They're not just empty spaces. They're a whole underground world filled with secrets about lions we never knew existed. We started our adventure by going down into these dark, twisty tunnels. The air was thick and smelled like old dust, and the walls were covered in weird claw marks. As we kept going, we found something amazing. There were paw prints in the mud, but they were huge, way bigger than Simba's or even Mufasa's. What kind of giant lion could have left those? We followed these mega prints, and they led us to a massive chamber. When we shined our lights on the walls, we couldn't believe our eyes. The whole place was covered in paintings, but not like Rafiki's colorful artwork. These were super old and faded, showing lions we'd never seen before, wearing leaf crowns and standing on Pride Rock. It's like we stumbled onto a secret history of the Pride Lands. We got closer to check out the details, and we noticed names written next to the lions in a squiggly, weird language. One name kept showing up over and over. It was longer than Simba or Mufasa, and it seemed really important. Could this long name belong to some super ancient Lion King from way back before Mufasa's great-grandpa? We took a bunch of pictures and brought them to some super smart animal scientists. When they saw the paintings, their eyes got so big. They told us these paintings could be thousands of years old, even older than the pyramids. But here's the really mind-blowing part. The scientists noticed something weird about the lions in the paintings. These ancient lions didn't look exactly like the lions we know today. They were bigger and had different features that modern lions don't have. So now we're thinking, what if these weren't just old lions, but a whole different kind of lion that used to live in the Pride Lands, like some kind of super lion that came before Simba's family? But if that's true, what happened to them? And why don't we know anything about them? Were these ancient lions the original royal family of Pride Rock? Did something happen to make them disappear? And if they were so different from modern lions, how did we end up with Mufasa and Simba's pride? What if these ancient lions had some kind of special power or knowledge that got lost over time? Maybe that's why the Pride Lands are so special, because they were ruled by these amazing super lions way back in the day. Now we can't help but look at Simba and Mufasa in a whole new way. Are they the descendants of these ancient super lions? Do they have some hidden power they don't even know about? It's like we found this huge, amazing secret that changes everything we thought we knew about the Lion King world. We started looking really close at all the Lion King books and movies, trying to spot anything we might have missed before. That's when we noticed something super weird. In one of the books, there's this tiny little note about Simba and Nala having another cub before Kiara. But here's the thing, we never see this cub in any of the movies or shows. It's like they just disappeared into thin air. We couldn't believe it, so we started asking around the Pride Lands. At first, nobody wanted to talk about it, but then some of the animals started whispering about a lost prince who vanished a long time ago. Can you imagine? A whole prince that nobody talks about? We knew we had to dig deeper, so we started looking for clues. That's when we found some really old animal tracks leading away from Pride Rock. They were different from any tracks we'd seen before. Not quite lion, but not quite anything else either. We decided to follow these mysterious tracks, and they took us to a part of the Pride Lands we'd never seen before. It was all dark and spooky, with trees that looked like they were reaching out to grab you. In the middle of this creepy place, we found a small cave hidden behind thick vines. We pushed our way inside, and that's when we saw it. A little tuft of red fur stuck on a rock. Could this be from the Lost Prince? We were so excited we could barely breathe. We carefully took the fur and ran straight to Rafiki. As soon as he saw it, he started jumping around like crazy, saying he remembered the Lost Prince. But then he got all serious and said he couldn't tell us what happened because of some big secret. What if the Lost Prince is still out there somewhere? Maybe he's been watching everything that's happened to Simba and his family all this time. Just imagine a secret lion prince hiding in the shadows, seeing Simba become king, watching Kiara grow up, maybe even keeping an eye on Kion and the lion guard. But here's the really big question that's making our heads spin. If there was another prince before Simba, shouldn't he be the real king of Pride Rock? What if everything we thought we knew about who should rule the Pride Lands is totally wrong? It's like the whole Lion King story just got turned upside down. Think about it. If this lost prince is real and he's still alive, he would be older than Simba. In Lion rules, that would make him the rightful king, wouldn't it? But then why hasn't he come back to claim his throne? Is he waiting for something? Or maybe he doesn't even know he's a prince. We started thinking about all the times in the Lion King movies where things seemed a little off. Like, remember how easily Scar took over Pride Rock? What if he knew about this other prince and was trying to get rid of him too? Or what about when Simba came back? Did anyone ever question if he was really next in line for the throne? The more we think about it, the more questions we have. If this prince is real, where has he been all this time? Has he been watching from the Outlands? Or maybe he's been living with another Pride, not even knowing who he really is. And if he does know, why hasn't he come back to Pride Rock? Okay, so we know about the Lost Prince, but there's an even bigger secret hiding in the Pride Lands. Remember those weird paw prints we found in the caves? We couldn't stop thinking about them, so we went back to take a closer look. And what we found was amazing. We started measuring all the paw prints in the caves, and that's when we noticed something really strange. Some of the prints were huge, like twice the size of Mufasa's paw, but we also found tiny prints, like they came from a lion cub. These cub prints looked really old, with edges worn smooth like ancient stone. We were so confused, so we showed the prints to some animal experts. After careful examination, they told us these prints could be from lions that lived thousands of years ago. We're talking about lions that might have roamed the Pride Lands when early humans were just learning to make fire. But here's where it gets even stranger. Some of the prints we found looked fresh, like they were made just a few days ago. How is that possible? Could there be ancient lions still living in these caves? We knew we had to solve this mystery, so we set up cameras all over the caves, hoping to catch these mystery lions on video. When we finally looked at the footage, at first we didn't see anything special, but then in the middle of the night, we saw something that shocked us. A huge shadow moved across the cave wall, way bigger than Mufasa. We paused the video and zoomed in, and that's when we saw it. It was a lion, but not like any lion we've ever seen before. This lion had a mane that went all the way down its back, and its teeth stuck out of its mouth like a saber-toothed tiger. We showed the footage to our expert friends, and they were just as surprised as we were. They told us this might be a type of lion that was supposed to have gone extinct a long time ago. We're talking about a lion that lived alongside woolly mammoths and giant sloths, but somehow it's still alive and living in these caves under Pride Rock. Can you imagine what this means? What if there's a whole pride of these ancient lions living right under Pride Rock and nobody knows about them? It's like finding lost pages of a history book that tell a completely different story of the Pride Lands. But here's where things get really interesting. What if these ancient lions are the real rulers of the Pride Lands? Think about it. They've been around for way longer than Simba's family. Maybe they're the ones who first claimed Pride Rock as their home, and Mufasa's ancestors were just newcomers who took over. And what about the Lost Prince? Could he be connected to these ancient lions somehow? Maybe he discovered their existence and that's why he disappeared. Or what if he's been living with them this whole time, learning the secrets of the Pride Lands that have been forgotten by everyone else? The more we think about it, the more questions we have. How have these ancient lions managed to stay hidden for so long? Do they ever come out of the caves? And if they do, how has nobody ever seen them? We're determined to find out more about these mysterious ancient lions. We're planning to set up more cameras and maybe even try to venture deeper into the caves ourselves. Who knows what other secrets we might uncover? Okay, so we've seen the caves and the paw prints, but what if that's not the whole story? What if the animals of the Pride Lands know more than they're letting on? We decided to ask them, and oh boy, did things get interesting. We started with the meerkats because, you know, they're always digging around, and Taimon tells us about these old stories. His grandpa used to tell about giant lions that lived underground. Can you believe it? He said they were so big they could touch the ceiling of the caves with their paws, and their roars could shake the whole savannah. His eyes were wide with excitement as he whispered about these legendary lions. But we couldn't just stop there, so we went to talk to the elephants. Because everyone knows elephants never forget anything, and one of the oldest elephants tells us about a time when lions and elephants used to be friends. His deep rumbling voice made the ground vibrate as he spoke. It's hard to imagine now, right? But he said there was a time when the lions would protect the elephants from other predators, and in return, the elephants would use their trunks to help the lions reach fruit and tall trees. It's like a whole different world. Now here's where things get really weird. We even asked the hyenas, and they got all nervous and started looking around like they were afraid someone was listening. They told us there's a secret place where the ancient lions still live. Can you imagine that, a whole pride of these giant lions just hiding out somewhere in the Pride Lands? But they wouldn't tell us where it was. They said it was too dangerous. But it was Zazu who gave us the biggest clue. He said there's an old bird song that talks about a lion king who could talk to the stars and control the weather. Now that's not something you hear every day, right? A lion who could make it rain or stop a storm just by roaring. We asked him to sing it for us, and it was this haunting melody about a golden lion with a mane that glowed like starlight. We got so excited, we started asking all the animals to sing us any old songs they knew about lions, and we started hearing the same words over and over again: the star mane and the thunder roar. It was like everywhere we turned there was another clue hidden in a song or a story. What if these aren't just silly animal songs? What if they're actually telling the story of the ancient lions and the lost prince? We were in game. We wrote down all the songs and started putting them together like a puzzle, and suddenly we saw a pattern forming. It was like the whole history of the Pride Lands was right there in front of us, hidden in plain sight. All this time, the songs talked about a great battle between the Starmane lions and the Thunder Roar lions, and how one side had to go into hiding to survive. But here's the really crazy part. What if the lions we know, like Simba and Mufasa, are only half the story? What if there's a whole other pride of lions out there waiting to come back and reclaim the Pride Lands? Imagine if Simba found out he wasn't really the rightful king after all, that there was this whole other family of lions with a stronger claim to Pride Rock. But what if the stars are telling us an even bigger story about the lions we thought we knew so well? We go back to Pride Rock and suddenly everything looks different, like we're seeing it for the first time. That's when we notice something that changes everything. A tiny mark on the back of the rock. It's a paw print with a weird swirly pattern inside, like nothing we've ever seen before. It's like a fingerprint left by some unknown lion ruler. When we touch it, the whole rock rumbles and shakes. A hidden passage opens up right in front of our eyes. We follow the passage deep underground, our hearts pounding with excitement and fear. After what feels like forever, we emerge into a massive cavern. The walls are covered in glowing crystals, bathing everything in a soft blue light. In the center stands a giant stone tablet covered in claw marks, some ancient, some seemingly fresh. As we approach, we make out words and pictures carved into the stone. What we read blows our minds. It's about a huge lion kingdom that once stretched across all of Africa, with different types of lions possessing amazing powers. Starmane lions could talk to spirits in the sky. Thunder Roar lions could create storms with their voices. It's a whole different world we never knew existed. But the story takes a dark turn. The lions started fighting each other, tearing the kingdom apart. That's why Simba's family only rules the Pride Lands now. It's like finding out your neighborhood used to be part of a vast ancient empire. Remember that lost prince we heard about? According to the tablet, he was meant to reunite all the lion prides and restore the kingdom, but something went wrong. He disappeared before completing his mission. We wonder if he's still out there trying to find his way back. Here's where it gets crazy. Those ancient lions we saw in the caves are the last of the Starmane lions, hiding and waiting to return. Imagine if they suddenly appeared in the Pride Lands. It would change everything we thought we knew about Simba and his family. We realize the Lion King story we've been watching might be just part of a much bigger tale spanning thousands of years. What if Simba is a part of a long line of lions meant to rule all of Africa? It's like discovering your favorite book is just one chapter in a massive epic. We start seeing all the clues in a new light. The star maps in the caves show the way to other lion kingdoms across Africa. Those ancient paw prints? They're from lions traveling between kingdoms, maybe even the lost prince himself. And those animal songs Zazu mentioned about the Starmane and Thunder Roar, they're actual history passed down through generations who witnessed the fall of the Great Lion Kingdom. We've stumbled onto a huge secret that's been hiding in plain sight all along. We've been on this wild journey through the hidden history of the Lion King, but hold on to your manes because we're about to dive into the biggest revelation yet. Remember all those clues we've been collecting? The cave paintings, the mysterious paw prints, those ancient animal songs, and that stone tablet? Well, get ready, because when we put all the pieces together, we stumble upon something huge. The Lost Prince might be part Starmane lion and part Thunder Roar lion. This changes everything about the Lion King universe. If this lost prince really exists, he'd be the key to bringing all the different lion prides together and restoring the great lion kingdom of Africa. It's like finding a secret level in your favorite video game that unlocks a whole new world. But where has this prince been all this time? We've watched all the Lion King movies and shows over and over, and we've never seen anyone who fits the bill. What if we've been looking in the wrong place? Remember when Keon went to the Tree of Life to get healed? What if that was setting up something much bigger? We couldn't shake this idea, so we decided to do some digging. We rushed to the Tree of Life and started asking all the animals there if they'd seen any strange lions. At first, we got a lot of confused looks and shaking heads, but then one old tortoise told us something that made our hearts race. He said he'd heard stories about a lion with a mane that glows like starlight and a roar that sounds like thunder. Following the trail, we found ourselves in a hidden valley we'd never seen before, and what we saw there was absolutely mind-blowing. It was a lion pride, but not like any we'd ever seen in the movies. There were lions of all different types living together in peace. Some had the golden fur of Simba's pride, others had the darker coloring of the Outlanders, and there were even a few that looked different from any lions we'd ever seen before. But the most amazing sight was right in the middle of them all. There was a lion we'd never seen before, and he was unlike any lion in the Lion King universe. He had Mufasa's regal red mane and Simba's golden fur, but his eyes were something else entirely. They shone like the night sky filled with countless stars. His presence was both majestic and mystical, as if he carried the wisdom of ages and the power of the cosmos. What if this is the lost prince we've been searching for, the true heir of Africa? It's like he's been waiting all this time for the right moment to bring all the lions together and reveal the truth about the great lion kingdom. But why now? What's changed that makes this the right time? And what about Rafiki? He's always known more than he let on. What if he's been in contact with the lost prince this whole time? Maybe all those cryptic sayings and strange rituals were part of a bigger plan to prepare the Pride Lands for the return of the true heir. If this lost prince is real, and he steps forward to claim his rightful place as the heir to the great lion kingdom of Africa, how will Simba and the other lions react? Will they accept him, or will there be another battle for the throne? And what about us, the fans who've loved the Lion King for so long? How do we feel about this potential new chapter in the story? It's exciting, but it's also a little scary. We thought we knew everything there was to know about this world, but now we're realizing we've only scratched the surface. What if the Circle of Life isn't just a catchy tune, but the key to unlocking the true history of the Lion Kingdom? Simba's story might be just the beginning of a much bigger adventure across Africa. The Lost Prince, Ancient Lions, and Great Lion Kingdom are all part of this massive story waiting thousands of years to be told. Imagine a network of Lion Kingdoms connected by stars and ancient roars, with the Circle of Life as an epic saga linking past, present, and future. What other secrets might be hiding in the savannah? Let's keep exploring and see what unfolds in this never-ending tale of lions. What unexpected connections will we discover next?